Hello everyone, I'm Lisa Wind. I've just blown in. And today we are back with more Dragon... No, this isn't Dragon Age, this is Seduce Me 2, the Demon War. Wow, that was a mind slip. Anyway, last time we were told we were going to take a test. We haven't taken it yet. And then we kind of spied on two more of the couples. Matthew and Damien and their respective wives. Yeah, good times. And now we have met up with our lovely husbando here. It's time to see, what's going on. As I marched back to my room, I was stopped by Sam. I stared at him as he leaned against the door to our room, as if he had been waiting for me for a while. Well, he might have. Also, why do we have the somber music?
Hey.
Hey yourself. Hey. I knew that this could only mean one thing. My test was waiting for me. Okay. Got this. I'm good at tests. Except for of patience. Those I always fail. I pressed my lips together. Nervous, but knowing that I had to go through it regardless of how I felt. Diana's words began to flood back into my mind as I took Sam's hand and gave it a squeeze. Sam squeezed my hand back, nodding, and led me away from our bedroom towards the war room. Maybe not the war room. I don't know if if Matthew and Norrin are done in there. Where Diana was waiting for us. Well, I hope she didn't kick them out. Hi. As Diana locked her sights on us, she let a sigh and gestured to the table, where a large conglomerate of items were placed and presented. Sam halted his stump, staring at the table in absolute shock. It's so shocking, you guys. There shouldn't be stuff on the table. I, however, merely grew confused. On the table was an assortment of single flowers, each a different color and type. They were formed in a magic circle pattern, but there was no magic to be seen.
When did you...
Hush, this is for her.
Exactly. Shh, sweetie. Sam instantly shut his mouth as I looked at Sam in confusion. He knew what this was. I turned to Diana, completely lost.
Dear, do you know what I've prepared here?
A floral arrangement? I stared at the table, unsure how to discern it. A couple of ideas came to mind, but I didn't want to be wrong if this was part of the test. Aw, they're never gonna give me instructions? Sam knew what it was, too, given the strong reaction from him. Could it have been? Bean, yes, go on. Don't even answer. A demon marriage ritual. No, I got nothing. Don't even answer. If it was what I thought it was, I didn't want to answer. If I had to go through with it to pass a stupid test, this test is not stupid, then I needed more time. Something like this was apparently very serious and needed heavy consideration. Diana pressed her lips together before sighing and gesturing to the flowers, and looking very, very annoyed.
This is a marriage ritual.
Yay!
Freshly blossomed flowers, holding peak-worthy magical essence, arranged in a magic circle, are part of what a binding ritual needs to happen.
Okay. Cool. Part? Diana nodded and looked to the table.
The other part is a precious item forged between two souls to bind them together.
Ah, okay. That's interesting. I couldn't believe it. This was my test? There was no way I was ready for this. But here I was, staring at a setup that just screamed, go through with it. There's nothing more to do. Let's go to it. Part of me was angry and aggravated. I had to go through this for some stupid dragon's power? I don't think the power's as stupid as you think it is. This was something Sam and I were supposed to discuss together. Now it felt like an arranged agreement. We were getting ready to marry this guy. This anger seems really stupid. What was I going to do? The test was obviously going to make me go through with this for the sake of Sam, but I still wasn't ready. Soul binding seemed very heavy and... What? We were... Ugh! As much as I love Sam, I needed to be 100% clear. Sam stepped forward and glared at Diana.
We're not doing this.
But I thought you wanted this.
Pardon?
You heard me. We're not going through with this.
Why not? Was this not originally something you wanted? You know, I was gonna have the big human wedding, you wanted this? I stared at Sam wide-eyed. What? He didn't want to go through with it anymore? Exactly. What was going on? I remembered clearly that he wanted to do it. Now he was against it? Well, it might be because, you know, I'm not exactly being enthusiastic, and despite Sam's many, many flaws, he has never forced me into doing something that my character did not want. Sam looked to me, and I could suddenly see the reason why, buried in his eyes. He still wanted to, but not like this. I could tell he was throwing away something he desperately wanted for my own sake. Exactly. Sam. Sam turned and grasped my shoulders, staring into my eyes.
I know that I want to do this. I want to do this more than anything. But you are more important to me than some dumb ritual. I will never let you force yourself to make this decision if you're nowhere near ready.
Gosh darn it, stop making me like you. I felt like crying. This was exactly why I loved him. This was the one of a million reasons why Sam was so important to me. My heart felt at ease, looking into his eyes and letting a rogue tear roll down my cheeks. And Dad's like, I am so over this. It may have seemed like a simple thing, but to me this was important. No, this is not a simple thing. I gently caressed Sam's cheek, feeling the warmth of his skin beneath my hand and thanking every deity I knew that I had him beside me as mine. However, as Diana cleared her throat, we both turned to her in reaction. What really threw us off was seeing her cover her mouth, hiding some sort of smirk that was peeking between her fingers.
Who said anything about you going through with it?
What? Sam and I became dumbfounded. What? We didn't have to go through with it. Then why was it set up?
For fuck's sake, if you're messing with us...
Yeah, Dee, really not cool. Diana began to laugh hysterically, causing Sam to stop talking and become dumbfounded once again. What the hell was going on?
I knew it! I knew it!
What?
What the fuck, Diana?!
I was beyond lost. As Diana continued to laugh, she curled over her stomach and covered her face, trying to catch her breath.
This was perfect! This was absolutely perfect!
If this is a joke, I'm failing to see the humor. Diana. Now I became frustrated. What was so funny about this? Diana finally stopped laughing, wiping her eyes from her tears that had formed from laughing so hard, and grinned at me and Sam.
I didn't set this up to make you two do it. That would ruin the point of the test.
Huh? Then what is the test? I became flustered, now mentally scrambled as to what I was going on. As my body suddenly began to sink into the ground, however, I gasped and looked down, seeing a large purple pentagram pulling me and Sam into the floor.
Whoa!
Whoa, indeed. Ah!
Demon marriage lets you know where your soul partner is at all times. The test is that you find your husband without it.
Ah, okay. I couldn't even fight back as I was engulfed in my darkness at last. I couldn't tell how long I was trapped in the darkness. All I knew was that I was going to wake up and find Sam. As I opened my eyes, I had to adjust to the bright light around me and the sound of nature in my ears. Aw, pretty. I opened my eyes and found myself in a forest, laying underneath a large tree with burn marks across its bark. I could tell that this would be my starting place, and my marker if I got lost. So while I felt terrible for the tree, I was thankful to have something to visually reference. Time to get lost! So, this was my test. I would have done much better for a written test. I had to find the man I loved without getting anything but my heart and my instincts. This was cheesy as hell. Yeah. Expecting someone to find someone else using the power of love? Why not? We're in a place where magic is a thing. I love Sam deeply, but I didn't know if it would be strong enough to guide me through a terrain I was unaware of to Sam, who also could have been wandering around looking for me. There were so many variables to consider. Still, this was a test for a reason. I had to figure this out. Come on, be smart. I cut my hands together and shouted, knowing his name would be a way to bring him to me. I've forgotten how this is pronounced. Amoris? Amoris? I got no clue. I'm sorry, everyone. The nearby birds around me fluttered wildly into the air in surprise of my shout. But Sam didn't appear. What the hell? That was supposed to have worked. Well, yeah, but that would have made it for a very short test. Something must have had him under holy magic. Oh, right. We didn't see Cero this morning, did we? Or something to negate the demon summoning. Another part of the test. I guess I wasn't allowed to cheat. No, that kind of defeats the point. It was worth a try. Yeah, I will say, yeah, it's what I would have done too. Just go find him, calm down. Let's just move. I started heading for the left of the tree burn marks. It was better than no direction at all, and it was a start. Each step took one filled with haste. I wanted to find Sam soon, and I didn't want to laze about this. I felt like hours went by until I stopped and looked around, exhausted from walking so far at such a fast pace. I leaned against a nearby tree, catching my breath. How the hell was I going to find him? Valid question. Something in the way my heart began to feel heavy. What if I wasn't able to find him? Well, I mean, we'll find something eventually. What if this was an impossible quest? No. I don't think it's impossible, especially not if this is a test to inherit powers. I felt my body slide down to the side of the tree, making me sit down at its base in fear. This couldn't be. Sadness and ache began to consume my thoughts. There was no way to track him, no way to find him at all in this place. Shenanigans? I had been searching forever. No, we haven't. Feels like it's maybe at most been an hour. Only hoping that I would find him and pray that he was alive when I did. My hands combed through my hair as I fought back tears. Please let me wake up if this is a dream. Please let me see him again.
Giving up so soon, my dear?
Exactly. At Diana's voice, I suddenly gasped and looked up, only to find no one around. I quickly stood and scanned the area, but alas, there were only trees around. I was willing to fight Diana for this man in the first game. Why? Why am I suddenly so pathetic? Are you working a spell, Diana? Diana, I don't know what to do. How can I find him?
You have all of the means to find him. You're just not thinking it through.
Exactly. I looked into the air, confused as ever. What did she mean? I didn't have anything but the clothes I was wearing. Diana chuckled slightly.
Think. Besides his heart, what else did he give you as a token of his love?
My ring? As she said it, the answer came into my mind, replaying the night Sam proposed to me in the night sky. I looked to my hand, seeing the engagement ring Sam had given me resting on my finger, glistening in the light. Yeah, I called it.
There we are. The other part of the marriage ritual.
Second part? This was...
Indeed. It seems he intended to ask you to be his in body, heart, and spirit.
My heart gave a hard, heated thump against my chest. Agreeing with Diana's words, he had been prepared all along to ask me to be his, but wanted to at least give me what I wanted first before asking for what he wanted. I smiled, staring at the sparkling emeralds and diamonds on my ring, and finally feeling the magic pulse within it. Still, I was lost on how to use it. How will this help me? Diana chuckled once more, her voice quieter than before.
I can't give you all of the answers, dear.
I know, right?
But at least you won't be lost anymore.
Okay. You know, a compass would be way more useful at this point. Her voice finally vanished into the air, leaving me alone once more. However, my focus was on my ring. I remembered clearly that this wasn't an ordinary ring, but one magically forged the night Sam proposed. Sam, I'm going to find you. I nodded and felt a wave of hope and courage rush through my body. I was ready now, focused on the ring, trying to will it to give me a sign, a hint, anything to help me find Sam. As I stared into it, a word popped into my mind. Letting it loose, I could feel a magic pulse in the air from around my body. Amor. My hand suddenly became wrapped in a green chain-shaped markings, sprouting from the base of my ring, before jutting off of my skin and flying forward through the air and deeper into the forest. I felt myself grinning from ear to ear. I was going to find him. I quickly burst into a sprint, following the ethereal chain that was leading me towards Sam, uncaring of the harsh breaths I was taking or the pain that shot through my legs. I needed to keep going forward. All that mattered was that I had to keep moving forward. The chain twisted and turned around trees and often arced around obstacles for me, guiding me perfectly towards a thicker brush of woods. The amount of the brush and smaller trees began to grow the farther I went, but I continued. Soon enough, I found myself walking towards the descended mouth of the cave, where a familiar brown-haired demon boy laid face down at its edge. Oh, you might want to get up, sweetie. Sam! I ran forward and slid onto my knees, lifting his head into my lap. Around his neck was a golden collar, which, upon my touch, vanished and caused Sam to stir from his comatose state. Oh, okay, that's why. Interesting. I also wish we could kind of see it.
What?
Hey, sweetie. My heart began to swell as I stared down at him, tears welling up in my eyes. This was really him. He was safe here in my arms, and I had found him. His emerald gaze bore into mine, still dazed from the sleep he was in. As he stared up at me, Sam lifted his hand and caressed my cheek, causing me to unconsciously nuzzle into it.
There you are.
Yep, here I am. Chestnut, boy, you're going to let me kiss you. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of, gross and sweaty because I ran here, so I'm just gonna nod. Yeah, here I am. Oh, by the way, your ring worked. I couldn't bring myself to say anything. I was so happy. I gripped over his hand and kissed it, feeling so complete that he was here with me. I'd found him at last.
Well done.
Hi, you. To our surprise, the voice didn't ring out in our heads. The voice of the dragon echoed from the cave, causing me and Sam to separate and stare into the void.
You have proven to me the strength of your heart.
Aww.
Now, for the final test, Sam must prove his.
Hasn't he already done that with Diana the other day? I instinctively gripped Sam tighter. We weren't going to be separated again, were we? Sam, however, slowly stood up, guiding me with him, and glared into the darkness.
Hit me with your best shot. I'm ready.
Fire away. A dark, echoing chuckle reverberated from the cave, causing a sliver of fear to rush down my body. I was beyond nervous, but we had come this far. We were going to win his powers.
Step into the cave and face me. I will judge you.
The memories of my nightmare began to fill my head. What if it was a trick? What if the dragon killed Sam while he was in there? I mean, it's possible, but for all the preamble we've had to go through, I don't think that's what the dragon wants. Despite my frightening thoughts, Sam stepped towards the cave, nodding.
You got it.
You got this, buddy. Go get him. Every voice and nerve in my head screamed for him to stop him. I didn't want him to die. At the same time, this was a test. He had to do it. Trust your man, sweetie. I was placing my heart on the table and hoping it wouldn't be ripped apart with a single blast. And you know what? I'm gonna be supportive. You got this. Go get him. I had to trust him. He could do this. Exactly. Go get him, sweetie. I watched as Sam walked into the cave, following behind until he vanished into the darkness. I stood once again between the light and the dark, waiting. Waiting. My nightmare, however, soon became realized.
You are not worthy.
What? No. No. We have jumped through all of your gosh darn hoops. All of a sudden, the darkness became full of fire, and the bare outline of Sam flashed before, burning away in the light of the flames. Sam's voice couldn't even let out a scream of pain, as he was instantly burnt to ash. Well, that got dark. Sam! Run! Run! Well, fuck. Diana's voice echoed through the air, but I was frozen in place, watching the flames rush at me and take me as well. I let them consume me, not wanting forever to live with the memory of Sam dying before my eyes. And you are not worthy. Well, that was unfortunate. Achievement unlocked. You are not worthy. Huh. Okay. Did not see that coming, to be perfectly honest. As you know, or, well, if this is your first time watching the series, maybe you don't know, there are a few more routes. I don't think this is the canonical ending, as we didn't get the credit page with the song following. So, when we come back, we'll try again, and hopefully next time we will be worthy. Until next, tak likatelak hedo.